Diagnosis day, the hardest day, the day you hear,
"I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer."
But day one is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Get the truth and nothing but the truth with Sherwin Hughes every weekday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 a.m. WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. A DoorDash customer charged with vandalism will head to trial. 22-year-old Janiyah Jones faces one felony count of criminal damage to property. Prosecutors say a DoorDash driver was trying to deliver Jones' order but lost her phone signal, eventually canceling the order. Jones was then seen on surveillance footage going to the driver's home, throwing a brick at the driver's car, and repeatedly smashing the vehicle with a tire iron. The damages totaled over $10,000. Jones pled not guilty to the charge. Cuts to DE&I programs have reached Wisconsin universities. UW-Madison cut their HR Department of Equity and Wellbeing, which worked to support LGBTQ+ and employees of color. Executive Director of the Institute of Diversity Science at UW-Madison, Dr. Marcus Bauer, says this.
I think diversity science is the answer to the problems we have right now. For many, many years, diversity initiatives, pro-inclusion initiatives were not evaluated. And I think there is sort of a new development that happened in the last 10 years where there are more and more people speaking up, hey, we need evidence-based methods. We need to find out which of these initiatives work.
It is unclear how many staff members will be laid off. Microsoft is pulling its plans to build a data center in the village of Caledonia. A Microsoft spokesperson says based on community feedback, the company has chosen not to move forward with the project. Microsoft says it's committed to investing in southeast Wisconsin. They plan to identify a site that aligns with the community priorities and its long-term development goals. Just last month, the Caledonia Plan Commission approved rezoning plans, and the village board was supposed to discuss the proposal at its meeting next week. It would have been Microsoft's third data center in Racine County. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I've been listening all day. Y'all been on something all day long, from the morning show all the way to little old me right here at Truth in the Afternoon. By the way, want to remind you, you can stream and watch us live on YouTube at 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a minute of this live show. And if you don't want to do that, you can just download the Truth app, at the App Store or the Google Play Store, and you can get us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Broadcast, rebroadcast, podcast, streamcast, cast on your leg, all that. So just make sure you do it. It's been one of those days. Hey, want to say what's up, Quanda? Why you got to call it study hall? Can't you come up with a better name than study hall? Come up with a better name. SE, what's going on? Curly Q, good afternoon. In and out to go watch the game. Go Crew. Wow. Hey, what's up, Willie? I think there are three types of people we need to have in our lives. You know, we choose our friends. You know, they usually tell you if you look at a person's 5 friends, if you look at the last, the apps on their phone, it'll tell you something about them. I think there are 3 types of family or friends or combination that you need in your life in order to be successful. I guess the question is, do you have these people in your life? Now, I've made it a point to have these people in my life. Contrary to popular belief, there are people in my life that will look at me and go, no, you're wrong. Don't do that. That's stupid. You would be an idiot if you did that. And I'm perfectly okay with it. I'm perfectly okay. But you need somebody in there first as you're younger that can walk you through life. I can tell you where to go, help you, and tell you, in some instances, tell you what to do. Don't do that. Right? You need that person that can create a path for you so that you can win and get those things that you need. Does that make sense? Okay. But then you need that person that is kind of what I like to call a covering. That person that's going to be there, that if anything happens to you, they're going to step in. Not if anything happens to you and it's necessarily bad, but just if anything happens to you, if anything occurs in your life, that person is there. They watch over you, they keep you, they check in with you. Hey, is everything okay? Everything going all right? I guess when you get to a certain age in life and you start getting phone calls, somebody shared this with me the other day. They said last weekend, they said, I'm getting to the point that when I think about people, I call them. And that's what I do. If you cross my mind, I call you. Like there's nothing attached to it. I don't want anything. You just crossed my mind and I called you. And that's it. No, nothing extra, nothing, while I got you on the phone, none of that. And I know y'all don't make phone calls, y'all text people. And I do that too. Sometimes you need to be that person that is a covering for someone else. That makes other people back up, take a step back and go, let me think about that. So think about it. You need somebody in your life that is going to tell you these are the things you need to do. Because sometimes you don't know. When I needed to buy a house, I had to pick up the phone call and say, where should I start looking because I want to buy a house? And the first thing they asked me, well, do you have savings for a down payment? I said, yes. They said, how much do you have? I said, I have 25%. They said, well, they got programs out here where you only need 10. I said, I heard that, but I don't have to pay the extra private mortgage insurance and then got to renegotiate and do all that other nonsense to beg them to drop the payments when I reach 20%. Because, if you have a 20% or more, That's the trigger, so you don't have to pay PMI. So they walked me through that. They talked me through that. But then they did what? They then followed up and said, hey, everything working out? A month or two later, did you get this? Did you get that? Did you look at this? Did you look at that? But then you need that person that when you do that and you mess it up, they tell you that's wrong. You shouldn't have done that. You need to be like this. I had somebody tell me I was going to a memorial service, right? And the attire for the memorial service was a dark suit. So I wore a sports jacket that was dark, black pants, and a shirt and tie. And the person that walked up to me and said, excuse me, yeah, that's not a dark suit. I said, yeah, but I'm in a suit. They said, no, that's not a dark suit. The attire is a dark suit. They corrected me. So a couple of weeks ago, I went to that same annual memorial service. And I actually called the person and said, hey, guess what? Yeah, I took a picture and sent it to you. I got a suit on. Why? Because you have to be open to correction. You have to be open to that. You have to be open to people giving you advice, telling you what to do and following it, trusting them. And you have to trust that when people check in on you, there's nothing that they really want. There's nothing they're looking for. And then you need to be open to people telling you that something you did, said, place that you went, you were wrong. And that's okay. You need people that are going to be honest in your life. You need family and friends that give you the unadulterated truth. And that's what we try to do here. So when you listen to 101.7 The Truth, one of the things you need to remember that there are usually three things you're going to get, because I think we family and friends, right? Truth Nation. Three things you're going to get and the three things we expect. You should be directed, protected, and corrected.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth.
I'm going to say something. I'm a conservative, as you know. I might not agree with you all the time, but even when I don't agree with you, you crack me up. And the other guy, he just pretends conservative all day. And you do make me think. But when you do better than anyone, you think on your feet.
Now that was a compliment coming from somebody who is as Trump-loving as he is, that can appreciate what we do here.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks. And enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing Coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing Coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe Coaches are here to help.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hey, tune in to the award-winning 1017 The Truth right here. Black Business Give Back Spotlight this Friday, 3:57 between the Tory Lowe Show and me. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be joined by Rennell Williams, Chief Creative Officer at VYZ. He'll be discussing why he launched the clothing and lifestyle brand and what inspires him every day. So again, that's the Black Business Give Back Spotlight with VYZ this Friday, 3:57 right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. 833-212-1017 is the number. It is Brewers Day, and the Brewers play today, and I hope they do very well and beat the Cubs and come back in. I'm just saying. I hope. I pray. Kwanda say, absolutely not. Okay, maybe I'll think about a name change, but did the weather change got you sniffing in our ear? Feel bad? Why you? So I sniff. So what? So here's the thing. Every time the weather changes, I get a cold. From summer to fall, from fall to winter, from winter to spring, from spring to summer, about 4 times a year, I get a cold. I don't know why. Hey, Sincere, we coming up with a new name, just so you know. We ain't going to call it the Study Hall. I appreciate it. But I can't tell what, if that's your chat and you want to call it Study Hall, call it Study Hall. But I'm just saying, we need a better name. We need a ethnic name. We need a cultural name. In other words, I don't want to be reminded going back to high school. I'm just saying. Now, really, City Girl said, I do that too. Dr. Ken, I'll either call or text you if and when I think of people. I love it. We need to know that people care. Kwanda says, same correction I did to you, saying you were wearing dark clothes last week and that you were, quickly it's gray, you were, but it was still dark. Ugh. She had to bring that up. So we were talking last week, and I was wearing gray, and somebody was saying, you wearing young? And I said, no, it's dark gray. No, it's gray. And they got into a whole, Now, I admit my eyes are not the best when it comes to colors. I've never been good with colors. Like, you can say, hey, that's a so-and-so. And I'm like, okay. They're like, what you don't get? I'm like, no. I've always had issues in the reds. Maroon, like dark carnation pink. I still don't know what mauve is. And there's a bluish, greenish, silverish, goldish color, and I don't know if that's mauve or something. I'm the guy. Give me 12 colors. Give me 12 Crayola crayons. If you could give me 6 of basic colors, I'm good. White, black. Give me a brown. Give me a red. Give me a blue. Give me a yellow. Yeah, 6. That's about it. I'm done. After that, I'm done. Because I can mix any of those together and get whatever color I want. But, yeah. Light green, dark green, Kelly green, lime green. Don't get me started. Because, sincere hush, it is not study hall anymore. What's wrong with him calling it study hall?
I think, Quanda, I think everybody's on your side. I'm just saying. I kind of think everybody's on your side. 833-212-1017 is the number. The high today is 59 right now. At 19 minutes after the hour, we're at 58 degrees. The low tonight is, I don't even want to say it. Can I whisper it? 49. It's 49 degrees as the low tonight. So I'm not really feeling it. Winds are from the northeast at about 9 miles an hour. Humidity is about 48%. Chance of rain, maybe tomorrow. But then again, it was supposed to. Let me check the 10-day because I know it's supposed to rain, and then it stopped. And so I don't think there's any more rain expected until like Friday. There should be some rain in the morning. High 68, low is 46. So back to the same. It's coming. Better put a jacket in your car everywhere you go. So I read a story today where the other day there was a story, and I don't remember whether or not I mentioned it, and I thought it was kind of dumb, but then I blew it off because I went, nobody's going to do it. CBS 58 has a story today that talked about the Wisconsin Department of Justice is asking a judge to pause voter citizenship verification order. Why would you allow somebody to vote and they're not a citizen? Why would you need somebody to prove that they're a citizen? I think just like if you have to show an ID, you should probably prove you're a citizen. But I think if we just stop giving ID cards out to people who aren't citizens, then we would be okay. Or have something on it that says they're not a citizen. I mean that just kind of makes sense, right? Well, this story goes on to say the Wisconsin Department of Justice last Monday asked the judge to immediately put a hold on his order that would require election officials to verify citizenship of all 3.6 million registered Wisconsin voters before the next statewide election in February. State Justice Department, which represents the Wisconsin Elections Commission, is seeking a stay of the ruling pending an appeal. The fight over verifying citizenship status of voters in battleground Wisconsin comes as Donald Trump, and I don't think this has really anything to do with Donald Trump. For me, it comes down to voter fraud. It comes down to someone who is not a citizen voting. And if you're not a citizen, I don't care if you pay taxes. If you're not a citizen, you should not be voting in any election anywhere in the countries. Do you agree? 833-212-1017. Do you agree? We're talking about somebody who's going to vote what to do with your tax money, whether or not to educate children, whether or not, like all these things. And you can't stop them. What if it happens to be more of them in one aldermanic district and they vote in who they want when the majority of citizens want someone else? I don't think you should be able to come into a country, and I can't think of a country in the world where you would be able to go in and vote and you're not a citizen. It would be idiotic if you were allowed to do that. Wisconsin lawsuit was filed in August of 2024 in the lead up to the November presidential election by two suburban voters, including a longtime critic of how elections are run in the state. Now, that needs to be fixed. We need to get some consistency on how we do that. They sought a court order requiring the Wisconsin Election Commission and the State Department of Transportation to verify citizenship on all applicants registering to vote. I have no problem with that. You should not be able to vote. Now, the ones that aren't citizens and have been voting and we don't know whether or not they're citizens or not, yeah, well, there's nothing we can do. But as we weed them out, they need to go. You don't get the same benefits that people that were born, pay taxes, have generations here. You don't get to skip us and vote and have all the rights and privileges of a citizen without pledging some type of allegiance to this country. And I've said it before. If you don't like it, leave. Get out. There are many, many countries throughout the world that will take you. But at some point, we have to agree with what Waukesha County Circuit Court Judge Michael Maxwell ruled on last Friday, that the Elections Commission is violating state and federal statutes by, and understand, maintaining an election system that potentially allows individuals on the voter roll who may not be lawfully entitled to cast a vote in Wisconsin. We stop people coming from Illinois to vote in Wisconsin. Why wouldn't we stop somebody coming from another country? They said the Elections Commission is failing in the most basic task of ensuring that only lawful voters make it to the voter roll from where lawful votes are cast, the judge rules. He ordered the Elections Commission to review the voter rolls before February 18th spring primary election in 2026 to determine if anyone who is not a U.S. citizen is registered to vote. He also prohibited accepting any new voter registration requests without verification that the applicant is a U.S. citizen. Now, we understand, and Josh Calder's right, the Wisconsin Attorney General, who's a Democrat, who said the court order would require a massive overhaul of Wisconsin's voter registration system and the creation of new verification requirements not otherwise provided by statute. Well, then now you have it. You don't have to have a statute when a judge tells you you got to do something, that it's unconstitutional. And really, you're violating the civil rights of people that are already here by allowing. Now, what if that person gets somebody's ID and they're not from here and they pretend to be me and they go in and cast a vote and then I go in and try to vote and they tell me I voted already? I have zero recourse. Oh, well, you can cast a provisional ballot. It's too late. That ballot, that vote has already been counted, sent downtown by cellular transmission, and all they're going to do is verify the vote at the end of the voting day and make sure that you have the same number of cards that you have of votes that are tallied and sent downtown. And that's it. And that's how they know that who won, that everybody voted and who won. So they got the percentages. If you got 100 people in a ward that can vote at 80 vote, then you got an 80% voting, and they know how many people voted. Quiet as kept, they could probably figure out who voted and who didn't because you got to what? Sign your name. So you've broken all kind of laws. And your own attorney general, who pretends to be the highest law enforcement officer in the state, and he's not. He has zero law enforcement power, but I don't know why we called him that. It's kind of dumb. And now he's trying to stop it. Makes absolutely no sense. Your thoughts, 833-212-1017 is the number. Is this something we should be doing in Wisconsin? Should we be taking unlawful voters off the voter roll? And now with 1017 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazica.
43 southbound, really a slow ride from before Capitol Drive, solid all the way down through the Marquette to about the KK River crossing. The northbound side is slowing down from about Kilbourne all the way up past Locust. Westbound 94, watch for some delays as you're making your way from 27th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. More delays then from about 76th Street through the Zoo all the way to the county line. Eastbound's backed up from about 92nd Street all the way through the Stadium to 35th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mainly clear, chilly, a low of 48 at the lake, 38 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and pleasant, a high of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Laziga on 1017 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, there are nearly 2,000 drug-related crashes every year in Wisconsin. Help prevent drug driving, and let's achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Departments of Health Services, Transportation, and Justice.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
What was the life change? You know, we all know it happened and we know things happen and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, you know, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease and he's on dialysis and he wants to get on the list and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, you know, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. You know, that's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and, you know.
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute, even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died and they wanted to take his organs and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Green Bay Packers face off against Joe Flacco for a second time this year, but now on the Bengals. That game is at Lambeau on Sunday at 3:25. The Brewers are up 2-0 on the Cubs after their explosion of a win on Monday, winning 7-3.
Fly ball, left field. Happ on the warning track. Happ at the wall. It's gone! Andrew Vaughn ties in the bottom of the first inning with a 3-run homer.
To Wrigley they go as they look to close with a chance to advance to the NLCS. First pitch of Game 3 is today at 4:08 p.m. Badger football looks to play the Iowa Hawkeyes on Saturday at 6 p.m. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Something's got a hold on me lately, though I don't know myself anymore. Feels like the walls are all closing in, and the devil's knocking at my door. Whoa, out of my mind, how many times did I tell you I'm no good at being alone? Yeah, it's taking a toll on me, trying my best to keep from tearing the skin off my bones. Don't you know I'm blue?
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I want to remind you the Truth is the proud home of Marquette University High School Championship football Friday night. The Marquette High Hilltoppers take on rival Brookfield East Spartans. Kickoff is 7 o'clock. Friday Night Football on the Truth is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 833-212-1017 877 is the number. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. I got the summit coming up, by the way, November 15th at Thrive on King from 10 a.m. to 1. So you got to go to 1017thetruth.com so you can register and come on, check it out. We want to get about 100, 200 people there, right? What we want to do is talk about two things that I believe are the most important things in the Black community. One is healthcare, and the other one is education. And so we've got Dr. Terrence Robinson, who's the West Dallas, West Milwaukee superintendent of schools, and we have Dr. Brenda Caselius coming back because, you know, she promised to come back, and she said she would, and she is. And so we're gonna talk about education in southeastern Wisconsin. It's not about just Black kids. It's not just about white kids or Hispanic kids. It's about children being able, under this ridiculousness of public instruction here in the state of Wisconsin and DPI under Jill Underly, being able to learn and have parents understand whether or not their children. Now, I don't necessarily expect them to bash it because they're in that system and they have to work there. I get that. But what I want to hear is how they're going to help our children prosper, learn how to read, all those things, right? But then we're going to talk about health. We are going to talk about health care. We're going to talk about some of the things that we don't necessarily want to jump in on, like questions like why type 2 diabetes is rising in people under 40. Type 2 diabetes is about your lifestyle, what you eat, your environment, all that stuff, but yet we've got more and more young people dying, getting sick, needing treatment, having a health crisis among younger generations, right? We're also going to be talking about prostate health. We're going to be talking about breast health. We got shows coming up. We got panels this weekend in Milwaukee. We got all sorts of things coming up because, you know, this is Breast Cancer Month, October. And so we've got some guests coming in next week. I've got a guest coming in Thursday to talk about a panel that's going to be coming up on women's health. So there's a lot of things going on, but usually when you're middle-aged and older, you know, I was told you have type 2 diabetes, but I really didn't have type 2 diabetes. I was pre-diabetic, and then I changed and lost weight and all that other stuff. But now people in their 20s and 30s are getting sick. They're getting diagnosed with diseases, with ailments, blood-related things that can cause heart disease, kidney failure, vision loss, all those things that are pretty much preventable. This is an article from rollout.com. The rise of type 2 diabetes in young adults signals broader societal changes in how people eat, how they move, and how they live that are fundamentally incompatible with human metabolic health. Unlike type 1, which is an autoimmune condition that you have that can be hereditary, type 2 diabetes, which can be hereditary, but it develops primarily through lifestyle factors that overwhelm the body's insulin response system. What does that mean? Well, understanding what drives this epidemic among you younger people is essential to reverse the trend. It's pretty easy to do, but if you want to have lifelong health complications, don't do anything. Sit around. You heard when we talked about Truth Unfiltered. Sit around and get fat. I got told, you can't say fat? So what am I supposed to say? Obese? Obese sounds better than fat. Like, technically, I'm obese. Anytime you're over your target weight, you're obese. Some people are more obese. Some people are less. Some people are morbidly obese, as in if you don't lose weight, it'll kill you. Regular consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages alone will increase type 2 diabetes risk by 26%. That's according to research tracking dietary patterns and health outcomes. Now, I'm a part of a American Cancer Society longitudinal study. I think I've been in the study like 10, 15 years, where they track your health. They track your blood. They track all those things about you, right? What do you eat? What do you drink? Well, how many times you've seen kids drinking soda, energy drinks, sweetened coffees? All that stuff spikes your sugar, spikes the sugar in your blood. Has anybody awakened in the last year or so? I'm curious. To your weight issues. 833-212-1017 is the number. Is anybody, what's the word I'm looking for, bold enough or comfortable enough talking about their weight or their weight loss? Because for me, I was at 252 pounds. I looked in the mirror and went, oh my goodness, you need to lose weight. And then all of a sudden I just changed and got into functional medicine. I found a medical doctor who understood functional medicine, that what you eat is what you become. So when black people pick Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Monday, Friday, and eat all the bad food, but I love my baby and I want them to eat good. Well, you want to kill your baby early? Keep feeding them. But now we've got younger people. We're talking 40 and under, with diseases that they ought not be challenged with until they're late in their 60s or 70s. All those liquid calories cause rapid blood sugar spikes that force the pancreas to produce excessive insulin repeatedly throughout the day. Portion sizes, restaurant meals often contain an entire day's worth of calories, one sitting. Go to McDonald's. You could smoke through your entire calorie intake one sitting. Young adults accustomed to these supersized portions consume far more calories than their bodies need, leading to weight gain, metabolic dysfunction, and then it sets the stage for diabetes. One of the most avoidable things in your life is diabetes, type 2. But if you sit around all day, you don't walk, you take the elevator. I got young people in my classes that take the elevator. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, don't you play sports? Yeah. What? Well, they want me to bulk up. Who cares what they want? You probably need to stop playing football if they want you that big, because you're eating food that's bad for you. All that for a win? I don't know. And that's all football programs. I'm not just teasing Concordia. That's all football programs. To what end? To what end? So if you're comfortable talking about some of the issues you have, like I do, 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm a little taken aback. I'm just a little taken aback. Dimitri said obese is a fancy, politically correct term for fat. Nothing more, nothing less. Absolutely. But Babar said, I guess I am a White Castle. Well, you'll be a dead White Castle. I ate too much white. And all the bread you eat in the hamburger, I think about the bread that turns to sugar. All the things that I eat that turns to sugar. It's just, it's too much. It's just too much. You know, Kwanda earlier was harassing me about the study hall piece. So I finally told her that, well, you're the queen of the chat. So whatever you say goes. Welcome to the study hall. So during my show, the YouTube chat is officially called Study Hall. All right. Yeah, she told me, she smacked me back. She said, look, fool, what I call it is what it is. I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right. Yes, ma'am. But think about this. Are you at a point in your life, like, what do you do when no one's watching? Because that's where character really counts. Character doesn't count when you're in front of somebody. If somebody drops $500 on the ground and you pick it up, it doesn't take character to say, excuse me, while other people are watching you, you drop this. It's when if you pick it up and nobody knows, and you're the only one that knows. Do you try to find an owner? Do you find a wallet and find the driver license and just go and give it back to them with their money inside? Or do you take the money out and go, hey, that's how it was when I found it? Character. It's the same way with food. Do you eat stuff you're not supposed to eat, but when you're in front of everybody? Are you the person that goes in and orders a meal from a fast food chain and a diet soda? Like, it just, are we fooling ourselves? Because I used to do that. Now I have to stop drinking dark soda and dark diet soda. And if I'm going to drink soda, I eat something that's protein, some eggs or some meat to absorb it. And those are the kind of things I learned from a dietitian. Those are some of the things that I learned from functional medicine. And I'm not a medical doctor, so don't get it twisted. And I'm not giving medical advice. But those are just some of the things that I did. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I am your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Remember, in the 5 o'clock hour, we got Top 5 at 5. When we come back, government shutdown.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hey, is this Carolyn?
It is.
Congratulations, Carolyn. You just won this
Congratulations. Woo!
God is good all the time.
What would you do with $5,000?
I'm going to buy my nieces some school clothes because my nephew just passed away.
Aww.
So I'm going to get them some clothes.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Tune in Friday night as two of the top teams in the conference go at it as the Hilltoppers take on the Brookfield East Spartans on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Join our coverage starting at 6:30 p.m., leading up to kickoff at 7 p.m. Marquette Hilltoppers football is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And sponsored by Left's Lucky Town, C.G. Schmidt, Capital Insurance Agency, Boyle Fredrickson, Annex Wealth Management, Magic Productions, and Burghardt Sporting Goods.
What is a DJ? Do we just play music? Maybe some are that simple. For me, I create memories that last a lifetime. I'm always thinking about how songs connect. I read the room. Every event is an open canvas, a new world. So what's a DJ when you hire me? I'm a vibe architect, a curator of euphoria, a guaranteed good time.
I know you want me. Every day, not only when you're lonely.
Whether you have a wedding, festival, corporate event, or any other special occasion, get your free consultation with DJ Remaniac today.
Trailblazer.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When you come to your home, when you check out your home, when you look at your home, when it comes to your home, your smart play is just trusting Gina Della and her team at Pella Windows and Doors. This month, the month of October, you can score a whole house of new energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month. You get that with 0% interest, and you get it for up to 60 months. That's 5 years. That's like a drive you can sustain for years, keeping your home comfortable thanks to incredible defense played by Pella Windows, stopping the drafts. Don't wait. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com, PellaWI.com. 833-212-1017 is the number. So it's a lot of folks on furlough. Hopefully you're not one of them. But I think eventually it's going to affect you because of all the ancillary businesses and all those that do business with the government, and the government's closed. So then how can you make money when there's nobody home and the lights ain't on? So, but then how would you respond? Like, how are you going to respond? How would you respond if you were one of those people and tomorrow you went to work and they said, hey, by the way, Friday, yeah, that's the last day. We're turning off the lights at 5 o'clock. And at 11:59 that night, we are on furlough, the whole company. What would you do? Like, what would you do right now? Like, what are your choices? Have you decided? Have you saved? Have you done anything to be ready for that type of thing? I would. I did. You could lose your job the next day. You could walk in and say, hey, good morning. They say, thank you. Can you step in the office for a second? Yeah. Boop. You're done. Give me your key. Give me your whatever. Give me your computer. Give me your hat. Give me your clothes. Everything. Boop, you're gone. Like if you wear a uniform or something. You're gone. And it can happen. Well, that's what happened to people. I don't know what's worse. Finding out suddenly that you're on furlough, or somebody telling you, by the way, it's 51 minutes after the hour on Wednesday afternoon. Let's see. 11:59 Friday night. Yeah, you don't have a job anymore. I think that would be worse. The anticipation, right? And not because you're fired, but because, yeah, we're just closing the business because, people are fighting with each other. Our board of directors, called the U.S. legislature, Republicans and Democrats, Senate and House, they're arguing with each other. So we don't really want to bother. We're just going to go home. I'm like, really? Yep, we're just going to go home. We're not getting paid, so we just go home. What would you do? 833-212-1017 is the number. What exactly would you do if you found out no job? Like, that's it. You're done. Like literally, what would you do? I don't know. Demetri said, I would scramble to find another job or jobs. First of all, I would apply for unemployment if I qualify, which I should. I don't know. If the government stops paying you, I don't know if federal workers, well, you know what? That's what we got Google for. Let me see. I got to ask the right question. When the federal government shuts down, can workers get unemployment? Because I don't know. They said, yes, furloughed federal workers are generally eligible to file for unemployment benefits during a government shutdown. The benefits are administered by state agencies through the unemployment compensation for federal employees. However, requirements. Repayment is required if Congress passes legislation to provide back pay you got to pay that back. And you actually must be furloughed, which means only federal workers who are furloughed or placed on non-pay, non-duty status are eligible. Exempted employees are ineligible. Essential or accepted workers who are required to work without pay are not considered unemployed and therefore are not eligible for unemployment benefits. Legislation has been introduced to change this, but it ain't law. State law here in Wisconsin is going to determine your eligibility. The specific rules and waiting periods for receiving benefits depend on the state where you work. So what happens is it might take X amount of days or X amount of weeks you got to be out of work before you get the benefit, and you might be back at work, but now you start to get the benefit. So then you got to cut it off. If you get back pay, you got to pay that back. And I don't know how that works because I've never applied for unemployment in my life. I've never applied for it. Ever. Because when I thought I was going to not have a job, I just went and found one. Or I became an entrepreneur. But that's what I would do. I would scramble and find another job and create some type of income for myself. I mean, with the internet and all the things that are going on with podcasts and radio shows and all that, there should be some type of avenue for you to make more money. Is that something you would do? 833-212-1017. Dimitri was kind of straightforward. I would just scramble and get another job. But Dimitri, is there something you could do entrepreneurial where you wouldn't have to go work for anybody else? You could do it yourself? Because some people say that, but they don't really want to do it. They don't want to work for themselves. They don't want to bother with paying payroll tax and all that stuff and going to the tax man or woman. And they want to just be able to go in, go to work, get paid a check, and be done. But it's just how life is. If you want something out of it, you got to put something in. And I think if you get sidetracked, pushed off to the side, furloughed, well, you might want to consider unemployment. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon, Top 5 at 5 up next.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Come in with straight truth.
If you acted up, if you were out here doing any kind of foolishness or just something that people know would make your family's name look bad, your neighbor from down the street, if they see the son or daughter, be like, what are you doing? They gonna call you out. They gonna let you know that they saw you, and then they gonna tell you, come here. Now you know I'm gonna tell your daddy.
That part.
There are a lot of times when people are new to an area, they don't know where to plug in. And anybody who plugs in the 101.7 The Truth and listen to you and Dame and Truth Nation would know that there is a significant public outcry when violence happens in our community. Don't worry about the outcry if you're not listening to the right people. So I would encourage her to tune in to 101.7 The Truth and listen to you guys, Denise Thomas, Dr. Ken Harris, Tori Lowe, and definitely Sherwin Hughes every day.
Watch all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. A DoorDash customer charged with vandalism will head to trial. 22-year-old Janiyah Jones faces 1 felony count of criminal damage to property. Prosecutors say a DoorDash driver was trying to deliver Jones' order but lost her phone signal, eventually canceling the order. Jones was then seen on surveillance footage going to the driver's home, throwing a brick at the driver's car, and repeatedly smashing the vehicle with a tire iron. The damages totaled over $10,000. Jones pled not guilty to the charge. Cuts to DE&I programs have reached Wisconsin universities. UW-Madison cut their HR Department of Equity and Wellbeing, which worked to support LGBTQ+ and employees of color. Executive Director of the Institute of Diversity Science at UW-Madison, Dr. Marcus Bauer, says this.
I think diversity science is the answer to the problems we have right now. For many, many years, diversity initiatives, pro-inclusion initiatives were not evaluated. And I think there is sort of a new development that happened in the last 10 years where there are more and more people speaking of, hey, we need evidence-based methods. We need to find out which of these initiatives work.
It is unclear how many staff members will be laid off. Microsoft is pulling its plans to build a data center in the village of Caledonia. A Microsoft spokesperson says based on community feedback, the company has chosen not to move forward with the project. Microsoft says it's committed to investing in southeast Wisconsin. They plan to identify a site that aligns with the community priorities and its long-term development goals. Just last month, the Caledonia Plan Commission approved rezoning plans, and the village board was supposed to discuss the proposal at its meeting next week. It would have been Microsoft's 3rd data center in Racine County. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and the Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Uh-oh, what happened? Hit it again? Okay. So, before I go there, I got to tell y'all a couple of updates. Number one, it looks like Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, I think, handed President Donald Trump a note. Basically, they want him to approve a Truth Social post basically saying that they've reached the deal between Hamas and Israel. So that's going on. They expect Trump to go to the Middle East on Friday. So it looks like there may be a deal in place. So we'll hear about that. As it comes over during the show, I'm gonna give it to you. We're on day 8 of the shutdown, and I guess that's on the side. It's on put that on the back burner because they're now, going heavy into these Gaza talks with Hamas and Israel. And if it works out right, you may have a plan, and it may be over with all the hostages being released. So, yeah, that's all I got about now. I'll interrupt myself if I get an update.
Number 5.
Sports update. Cubs just went up 4-1 over the Brewers in Chicago. Let me see the inning. It is the game 3. Milwaukee leads 2-0 for the series. But the Cubs, I think it's still the bottom of the second inning. Cubs are up 4-1. So, but we've seen that turn around in recent times. So, we'll see. They're still working hard and they're still doing it. So, game just started. So, I'm just saying, game just started. So just take a deep breath.
Number 4.
So there are some things we do in life that we shouldn't do. But then the question I have for you, we talked about healthcare earlier. When is too old too old? Story from Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. An 84-year-old climber died at Devil's Lake State Park on October 5th. New York Times reported the Baraboo Fire and EMS District told Journal-Sentinel an incident occurred over the weekend that involved the department's rope rescue team, but the department was not immediately available to provide more information. According to the New York Times, rescuers were dispatched to a slope on the west side of the state park around 11:30 a.m. October 5th for a report that a man had fallen. Officials told New York Times that the man fell around 25 feet and died at the scene. 84. Why are you? Now, don't speak ill of the dead, but at that age, why would you be rock climbing? I mean, at that age, stairs are a chore. And I'm going to be climbing the side of okay. And I'm going to be climbing somewhere named Devil's Lake State Park. No. That was a article by Kelly Arsenault. I'm not doing that. That's just me. Am I superstitious? Well, in a word, yes.
Number 3.
Now an SDC update. Second time this week, a Milwaukee County Circuit Court judge has ruled that the Social Development Commission's Property Corporation defaulted on mortgage payments for its North Avenue buildings and faces foreclosure in the coming months. Judgment was issued this past Monday in the latest development for the Social Development Commission as the anti-poverty agency attempts to reconcile its budget and secure funding amid lawsuits, board tensions, and government reviews. The property will now enter a redemption period for 3 months before the court can take further action, including selling the properties at auction. Evan P. Schmidt, an attorney at Kirkman & Dunn representing SDC and SD Properties, said, "I can tell you that SDC is working tirelessly to be able to secure and redeem the properties." Forward Community Investments, a community development financial institution, filed a foreclosure lawsuit in March against SD Properties Incorporated, the tax-exempt corporation that owns SDC's buildings. The lawsuit claimed SD Properties defaulted on mortgage payments in 2024 unless SDC as a guarantor. This past Monday, Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge J.D. Watts granted a summary judgment for Forward Community Investments, which included a judgment of foreclosure against SD Properties and SDC, and declared that Forward Community Investments is entitled to a money judgment. The judgment allows for foreclosure process to advance. That's according to Ryan Zurrer, President and CEO of Forward Community Investments. Now, the information you've been waiting for. The total judgment amount owed by SD Properties was just over $3.1 million. That's as of June 16th, according to court records. The lender's complaint outlines that this includes $2.42 million in principal, interest, and other costs for a construction mortgage SD Properties entered into in 2020, and $687,000 for an additional mortgage started in 2023. Additional accrued interest and other costs may be added to the tally, like court costs and all that other stuff. Meanwhile, SDC moved out. So it's becoming a snowball effect. It's just becoming one of those things where, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame. Take your eye off the ball, and then the state comes after you, and the feds come after you, and everybody, and now we are where we are. Meanwhile, people are still struggling. People still need that poverty agency in order to make their days more comfortable. Food, shelter. It's going to be winter again. So what's going to happen? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's unfortunate. It really is. It really is. But thinking about that, it just reminds me that at some point, Wisconsin has to change. We talked about it the other day. We talked about it. Wisconsin's adversity to change is going to kill jobs and the rest of the state. And if you got a question about it, Rhea talked about it in the news. Let's ask Caledonia.
Number 2.
From WISN.com, Microsoft will not move ahead with plans to build a data center in Caledonia, citing community feedback. The proposed project covered 244 acres near Douglas Avenue and County Line Road across from the Oak Creek power plant. It would have been Microsoft's third data center site in Racine County. Prescott Bulk, who lives near the proposed site, said he was ecstatic because we think it's the right decision, not because we're gloating because we won. We believe we've come to the right conclusion for the village. Balch, I guess that's the name, B-A-L-C-H, and other fellow Caledonians spent the last 2 months forming a coalition to oppose the plan, taking their long-term and environmental concerns to several village meetings and information sessions. Now, me personally, well, Microsoft spokesperson, let me read what they said. Now, they had already advanced the rezoning plans in a 5-2 vote. But they said, based on community feedback we heard, we have chosen not to move forward with this site. We remain committed to investing in southeastern Wisconsin and looking forward to working with the Village of Caledonia and Racine County leaders to identify a site that aligns with community priorities and our long-term development goals. So somebody wants to come in and pay significant tax money, right? Because they're going to be buying energy from We Energies. They're going to be building out 244 acres. They're going to be creating jobs. They're going to be creating long-term jobs because regardless of what people think about AI, people don't understand because they're not in business and they don't know that you have to maintain it. And that's why schools need to change and schools need to start including things like AI and computer science and those types of things along with math and science because that is where the world is going. But we have people that are just anti-business, which is dumb, because how do you get tax money? It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. How can you be anti while you're actually working? Like, it's just dumb to want to limit someone else's potential to grow. This is stupid. And so now you have poor people. Well, tax money helps feed them. Tax money puts money in their pocket. Tax money helps them with shelter. That doesn't grow on trees. You actually need jobs. Who do you think generates jobs? It's just stupid. And so now they don't have it, and now the community won't grow. And then when they complain because, hey, by the way, we need a tax, who's it going to hurt worse? The poor people. But people don't care because they're not smart enough to start a business and grow it into $1 trillion business. So we bash other people's success, and that's what we do. And it seems to be a Wisconsin thing. I don't know. It's just weird. I've never lived in a place or been to a place that was so anti-business and then wanted to tax the people that work there. But if they don't have a job, how can you tax them? It's just dumb. It's a circular nonsense. And so now, all those people, all those construction jobs, all those long-term, security, upkeep, maintenance, gone. Construction, gone. But I feel good, right? Yeah. In about 5 years, when they say we need a tax, you can't complain because they could have filled the tax roll and did all those things the county and the city needed by simply what? Having them pay taxes. Hundreds of millions of dollars in tax money, gone. And it's dumb. But, hey, know what they say? It's Wisconsin. But never fear. One man's trash is another person's treasure.
Number 1.
Port Washington. They're having a common council meeting about what? An AI data center. The approval of 1,900-acre artificial intelligence center in Port Washington has led to protests from residents and surrounding communities worried about its impact on what? Electrical costs, water usage, and job opportunities. Does that even make any sense? In order to build it, you have to have more jobs. You think the data center is going to take jobs? Like, whose job is it going to take? And this is a group that knows and understands nothing about AI, anything about IT, nothing. They just don't want big business in their backyard. And that's great. Pay your taxes. Because I don't think Ozaukee County has a county tax. Guess what? They'll get one. And who'll pay? Not the middle class, who it doesn't affect them. They'll just pay the tax. And the poor people will struggle. The data center, already approved by the Port Washington Common Council in August, is set to be constructed near I-43 between Highland and Lake Drives. Port Washington is a city about 13,000 people, but hundreds attended Tuesday's Common Council meeting, many from surrounding communities who say they will also be impacted by the data center and are unhappy about it. So then what are they impacted about? Well, concerned citizens, though, point to the data centers around the country that do have an impact on the local water supply. You're next to a lake, knucklehead. Right, okay. So others against the center asked the Common Council about the potential of blackouts or scheduled brownouts to avoid overwhelming the area's electrical grid. They're going to build it for them. They'll have, and this comes from a group of people that don't understand. They're going to use 1.3 gigawatts initially. People don't understand electrical distribution. But watch this. These are the same people that don't want nuclear plants. They don't want coal. They don't want oil. They don't want... Okay, so then how are you supposed to power your own house? Because you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. They can pay for the environmental issues. They can fix the environmental issues. But that's what everybody screams. Well, the Protect Fredonia Coalition challenged the council's claim of significant support from adjacent communities, stating, "You stated there was significant support in adjacent communities. That is not true." So here's the funny part. You get 100 people in a town of 13,000, and the 100, as always, the minority represents the majority, and they say they're right. They also said we don't have any control over the path of the power lines. So they're coming up with all this stuff, but what they missed is that it'll employ 332 full-time positions on top of construction. So we're talking generating jobs. They expect it to be fully operational in 2028. What do you tell people who are about to get a job that they can't have a job because we don't like big business? It's stupidity. But that's Wisconsin. And at some point, somebody's going to step in Wisconsin and take it. $10 billion in revenue. That's what Caledonia just walked away from. $10 billion in revenue, gone. Homeless shelters, help for veterans, food, gone. Goes to the state coffers for education, gone. So whose pocket is it going to come out of? Everybody talks, but nobody wants to pay. As if money is going to grow on trees, and it's not. And it's not. Because we'd rather live with, we can't give up an inch. We've got to keep it. Okay. But all you're doing is making your children and your grandchildren, oh, wait a minute, they won't have anything because you just blew $10 billion out the door. But I guess got to keep supporting that old adage, stupid is as stupid does.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris go inside Bucks training camp. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Gina Della and her team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin always have the winning game plan. Check out the championship caliber play call this month. A whole house of beautiful, new, energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month, and get this, 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's like running a drive that keeps moving the chains with no penalties and no interest. And I can tell you from my experience, Pella Windows actually stop the drafts. You'll stay comfortable no matter how cold it gets outside. Think about it. Energy savings, comfort, and a great monthly payment you can actually manage. That's why I trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and why this is the right time to make your move. Call today and schedule your free consultation at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 10/31 of 2025.
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered. Our $10 meal deal gives you a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub piled high with fresh hand-sliced ingredients, crisp veggies, and all your favorite toppings. Add a bag of chips or regular fries, a fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal's available online or through the Cousins app only, and you can enjoy your meal at home, at work, or delivered straight to your door, hot and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available at participating locations. Offer subject to change.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Tune in Friday night as two of the top teams in the conference go at it as the Hilltoppers take on the Brookfield East Spartans on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Join our coverage starting at 6:30 p.m., leading up to kickoff at 7 p.m. Marquette Hilltoppers football is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And sponsored by Left's Lucky Town, C.G. Schmidt, Capital Insurance Agency, Boyle Fredrickson, Annex Wealth Management, Magic Productions, and Burghardt Sporting Goods. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. 25 minutes after the hour, 57 degrees, sunny. Low tonight's going to be around 46. Winds are from the east-northeast at about 9 miles an hour. Humidity's at about 52%. Yeah. Not looking forward to it, but, oh well. There's no rain, so I'm okay. It's not supposed to rain until Friday. So you know what you need to do, right? Do exactly what Sade is telling you. Cherish your day. Because warm days are over. Warm days are over. It's gone. Sayonara. See you later. Adios. Let me check the talking text line, because y'all been I haven't been giving you all much attention. Let's see. Dimitri said, yes, Dr. Ken, I would try to be an entrepreneur. There's so many opportunities to make money online, even with social media. Dimitri said what it boils down to is have a plan, and a plan B, and a plan C, and a plan D. I don't know if I agree with that. I'm a burn your boats type guy. You go in 100%. You win, you lose. You fail, you start over. But run it into the ground. Sometimes we give up because we have a plan B. Well, I can always do that. As soon as we run into trouble, poof, we drop it. So, I don't know. I feel you. Mal said, not missing. Good evening. It's okay. People just talking back and forth. I would be blanked if I lived here in Wisconsin, born and raised. Just doesn't make any sense to me. Make it make sense. Hey, some people just don't believe in business. Some people don't believe that people should make money. Some people don't believe that you should be rich, even though you started the business and made the money yourself. They want to limit what you can have because they're too lazy. They're too fearful to do it themselves. So they want to take yours. It's like selfishness. It's almost like being sociopathic, you know? It's like, nope, I'm not wrong, I'm right, and this is it, and that's what it needs to be, and that's it. And I don't care what anybody says, I don't care what data says, I don't care what people say, I don't care what life says. This is what I believe, and that's it. Well, that's fine. But now you have to live with that. So if you're poor, and that's what you think, that's what you get. I would go to Russia, some parts of Germany, some parts of England, South America, Venezuela. Ask some of them folks, hey, how's it working out? It ain't. Cuba, it ain't working out at all. We paint the picture. Oh, see, look. We get people to visit here. Oh, look. Oh, it's beautiful. They only show you the pretty stuff. But the day-to-day, ask the people that are there. They're afraid to talk to you. Because the bottom line is that it doesn't work. It has never worked. Now, America's not perfect, but it's a far cry. Like, why you think people are running across the border and taking boats from other islands to get here? Because regardless of what its history is, today, it really is a land of promise. Young people today are proving that America is a land of promise. You could be an influencer. Think about what I'm saying. You could be an influencer and be worth 10, 50. You can make music and be a billionaire because you're in America. That's all. Take advantage of it. Take a chance. Win, lose. Not everything TS did, I'm not going to say her name, Taylor Swift, did that worked, but at some point, she went for it. And when that didn't work, she changed her genre. Now look at her. Can't be mad at her. I ain't mad at her. I just don't like the music. Music doesn't do anything for me. But I ain't mad at her. She has nailed her craft, and she has built it out, and now she's rocking it. Can't be mad at her. Can't be mad at football players, basketball players. Giannis Antetokounmpo, you can't be mad at millionaires that own other teams and do because they worked for it. Give other people the opportunity to. Nope. Make too much money. Okay. That's usually people that are poor who don't do anything and don't have anything. So, okay. 833-212-1017 is the number. She will never be better than Michael Jackson. Oh, come on. So, Mal, you got to understand. There's certain, that's the word I'm looking for. There's certain places in industry, business, music, whatever it is, that some people are just who they are. To pair or compare Taylor Swift to a Janet Jackson. They're two different people. Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. She'll never carry a candle to Whitney Houston. But then you can't compare them because they're two different people. Taylor Swift has her own space. She has the ability to have her own space. Michael Jackson has his own space. Can't nobody touch him. Can't nobody be number two. There is nobody in that space except him. Same thing with Taylor Swift. Same thing with Prince. Same thing with Mariah Carey. Same thing with Whitney Houston. They are beyond legendary, right? They've kind of created their own space. Same thing with business. You may not like the owner of Meta. You may not like the owner of Tesla, but they have their own space. They stayed in their narrow lane, and they rocked it. Can't get mad. Can't get mad. You can be mad at Elon Musk, but you can't be mad at his success because he's had just as many failures as success, just like Michael Jordan. So why, as a human being, we would go through life hating somebody else for doing something that we didn't do and couldn't do? We're talking about innate, natural, preternatural abilities. They were born with it. They couldn't not do it. That's who they are. It just is what it is. So why get mad? Why get upset? I can't believe you shouldn't have this. You shouldn't have that. Well, I worked for it, and it's not yours. I've always been the follower of this. I will show you how I got what I have, but I'm not giving you mine. It creates laziness, and we have generations now that are lazy. They expect everything to be given to them. Oh, I worked there for 5 minutes, so I should be able to run it. No. I worked here, 2 years, so I should be a manager. No. You have to earn it. You have to show leadership. You have to actually do the work. Coming to work every day and doing base, it says do these 3 things at work. And you only did 3 things. That does not it might get you a raise, but it's not going to get you a promotion. You got to go over and above. You have to give, hey, you asked for 4 things, but here's 6. Hey, you asked for 6 things, but here's 9. I took the liberty of doing this, taking that extra step. Something that's foreign. Over-deliver. Imagine that. Giving people something over and above what they asked for. It's service. And I don't think this generation today has a service heart. They have a work heart. Mao on the YouTube chat said, Dr. Ken, in your opinion, do you think AI can benefit everyone, leveling the playing field. Absolutely. But you have to know how to use it. So take the time. And granted, eventually you're going to be able to go to school and they're going to teach you how to use AI. They're going to teach you how to infuse it into what you do. I need to write an outline, and this is the story, or this is the questions, and give me an outline of how to answer this question, and then answer it. The problem is when you try to cheat and have AI do your work, and it pulls up garbage from the internet, and then I just run it through a scan, poop, and go, yep, 67%, you fail. And then they get mad. Well, what do you mean I fail? Well, first of all, you didn't remove the blue writing that ChatGPT gives you. That's one. You didn't remove the separation line, right? And the question was the exact same question, because if you ask the same question, guess what you're going to get? Everybody gets the same answer. So you get a pile of answers with all blue ink, and it's like, come on, what are we doing? But if you say, here's the question, give me the 3 most important things I need to understand in answering this question, and then answer that. Then do the sources and look through and all that. But AI will benefit humans. It will make it more efficient. Send X a message and let him know I'm going to be there at 8 o'clock. Enter, cut and paste, done. Takes me what? 5 seconds. Like those mundane things, AI can help you be more efficient. It can literally cut hours off of your work in a week. So if you work 40 hours in a week, you could probably get away with working probably around 30 if you had AI to help you, to assist you, not do your work for you. Some people are saying AI is malevolent. AI is only garbage in, garbage out. You put something in it, it only gives you back what you put in. But that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. So it's really easy. It's really simple. Personally, I think you have to use your brain even more with AI. Because now you have to decipher what's good and what's not. And one thing AI does is if you ask it too much or ask for too much information, it just starts giving you garbage. It just picks something. Oh, that sounds like it. Well, I'll put that in there too. Boop. And you get your answer. You're like, what is this? I think it makes you work even more. But if you use it for some of those mundane things, answering emails, calendars, sorting things, right? I have a lot of things I have to sort. Okay, I got all this stuff. I got all this data, and I need to do something with it. I need to create an actuarial table. Can you make it an Excel sheet with such and such? It does it for me. Or I'll write something and say, can you clean this up and make it more efficient? Then it'll do it. But then I also tell it not to add what I wrote to the collection of AI that's out there so somebody else can't use it. So there are little tricks and all that stuff you can do. And we've got my guy from Concordia coming in a few weeks to actually talk about AI and ways to use it, things of that nature. They've got a new degree they're trying to do. So all that. We'll talk about all that. Babar said he needs proof. Proof of what? What do you need proof of? You've been using AI for 20 years. The messages you get, the chat bot that's on the, when you ask a question, where can I find this? Where can I find that? Oh, you want me to show you how to use the system? Sure, we could do that. I'll have to figure that out. We'll have to figure out how to do that. Figure out how to get a computer and actually use it and show you on YouTube how it can work. It's great. It's phenomenal if you know how to use it in the right way. Now, before we go to break, you also have to use it in an ethical way. And that's the part that you need to be careful. You know, all those emails you get from the Nigerians that are, I'm stranded and I need money. Or the voice that calls you and it sounds just like your daughter or your son. That's what you need to be afraid of. So you need to build in things like passwords with your children, passwords with your spouse and friends. So if they get a phone call and it's from you, There's a password. And if they don't use the password, it's a bogus call. Or they're calling under duress. So there are easy ways around it. People just don't want to do it. People just don't want to do it. Dr. Ken, do you think at some point all these AI entities will be combined into an all-in-one? No. Because different AI collects data on different things. So AI for engineering is going to be indigenous to those who are engineers. AI for construction is going to be indigenous to construction. So at some point, you have to be able to follow it along and use it in your industry, right? And so they'll build those out. The ones like ChatGPT and all that is for general everyday stuff. It's just, general nonsense. Garbage in, garbage out. And now with 101.7 The Truth traffic, here for the last time today, Debbie Lazica.
43 southbound, still going to be a hefty ride from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette, all the way down to the KK River. Northbound's backed up out of the Marquette all the way up to Locust. We do have a crash in the Zoo interchange. It's on the ramp from northbound 894 to westbound 94. The left lane is closed, so that's going to be affecting your ride through that area as well. So just be extra careful. Eastbound slowing down from 92nd Street all the way through to 35th. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mainly clear and chilly, a low of 48 at the lake, 38 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and pleasant, a high of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Laziga on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family-owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at wipga.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Coming with straight truth.
Corey, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you when I first started hearing your voice. And what you're doing, in the words of T-Pain and Gorilla, I love it.
Thank you, brother. Bless.
Hey, I'm down with you, man. I missed your last gathering, but the next one I'm going to be there, and I'm going to make sure I introduce myself because, hey, you're God in all circumstances.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Never miss a moment of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Violence is a tool. Violence is a tool of oppression. It's a tool of subjugation. It's a tool of manifest destiny. Let's not say all of a sudden, oh, hip-hop music is why people are... No. Y'all know how America was discovered? Murder, slavery, human trafficking. The origins of violence predates hip-hop. Can we at least agree on that?
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tap into the best power hour in radio in Milwaukee.
Drop my pants. I had to make sure I wasn't seen, I don't want nobody to get surprised.
This is a sick Negro.
I'm just the real one. I peed again, came on back. I said, what y'all been doing? We've been out here for 3 hours. Y'all ain't peed yet? Just sitting here, we playing beer pong, and y'all sitting here peeing next to me? I'm still itchy today. I think there's something wrong. Am I the only one that's astonished by this?
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Your expression on your face, that's got to me. And the man wasn't lying.
What you mean the expression on my face? How can you see my face? You listening to me on the radio, man.
No, I'm watching you on YouTube, too.
Oh, all right, then. You're an old man, and you know about YouTube. How old are you, Adam? You about 85.
83.
I'll be dipped. How blessed are we to have you?
Watch all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Green Bay Packers face off against Joe Flacco for a second time this year, but now on the Bengals. That game is at Lambeau on Sunday at 3:25. The Brewers are up 2-0 on the Cubs after their explosion of a win on Monday, winning 7-3.
Fly ball, left field. Happ on the warning track. Happ at the wall. It's gone! Andrew Vaughn ties in the bottom of the first inning with a 3-run homer.
To Wrigley they go as they look to close with a chance to advance to the NLCS. First pitch of Game 3 is today at 4:08 p.m. Badger football looks to play the Iowa Hawkeyes on Saturday at 6 p.m. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Cubs lead the Milwaukee Brewers 4-2. Can't tell what inning they're in because the closed caption is talking over itself. But anyway, they're leading, so I don't know. Just one game. They're coming back. I'm just saying. 833-212-1017 is the number. Remember, the Truth is the proud home of Marquette University High School Championship football. Friday night, the Marquette High Hilltoppers take on rival Brookfield East Spartans. I was about to say Spartacans. Anyway, Spartans. Brookfield East Spartans. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Friday Night Football on The Truth is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call. That's all. All right. So that's kind of what it all is still. That's what it all comes down to. AI is in everything we do. AI literally in everything we do. Artificial intelligence is used to complete phone calls. It's used Siri on your phone or Google. Google in and of itself is a giant AI. That's why you can search it and it has an algorithm and you can ask the question. If you ask it in the right way, you'll get the proper answer back. It's been here. People that are screaming saying they don't want to use it. When you call somebody, hi, you've reached so-and-so, so-and-so. Press 1 for this. Press 2 for like it's been here for decades. For decades. And so the bottom line, hey, Breeze, Bruise, we don't do that. Anyway, you're not going to get around it, so you may as well learn about it. You may as well find a free course, find a place that can give you some continuing ed and learn about it, because it's not going anywhere at all. And you better be ready, because if you're not ready, it's going to take over. And I don't mean take over the way Sandra talks about taking over, where it's going to become a mind of its own. I think it'll take some jobs, because there are literally some jobs that you don't need. When you go to the kiosk and you press the button, you don't need anybody ringing up your order in the store. That's just how it is. You do understand you use AI when you order from Amazon. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It figures out the proper place in the store that has the proper product that you ordered, and it goes to the nearest one, and the driver is told, go here. It even tells you what route to take I literally come to the radio station every day using AI to tell me where to drive and where it's the least. And I've never been wrong. I have never gone somewhere where I used a particular app and didn't get there at the time or sooner than I was supposed to. So it's here. You can embrace it. You can use it. You can use it to make your life more meaningful, make your life more efficient. Or you can sit here and watch other people move past you. And it is what it is. Think of older people that could use it to make their life significantly more efficient. Voice technology, things of that nature. So I'm just saying, make sure you look out for them. Make sure you create that space for them so that they can win too. Because in the end, we all win.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I'm inviting you to Cousin Subs in Wauwatosa to try their brand new crispy chicken sandwich, available only for a limited time. Make sure you come out Thursday, October 9th, as I'll be broadcasting live the Tory Lowe Show from 1 to 4 from Cousin Subs on 124th West Burleigh Street, right next to Lowe's. Again, that's the Tory Lowe Show live from Cousin Subs in Wauwatosa on Thursday, October 9th. Come through, say what's up, and grab your sandwich while it lasts.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
At We Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at weenergies.com. We Energies, people you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Family needing a getaway? Chula Vista Resort in Wisconsin Dells has everything you want, right on the Wisconsin River. Splash into new surrealistic water park fun with Rainbow Rapids. Try new dual zipline racing at Chula's Aerial Adventure Park. New thrills like the towering 200-foot bungee ejection ride, plus $20 million in lodging renovations, 18 holes of challenging golf, all on site. Check it all out at chulavistaresort.com.
Guess that day came to an end pretty quick. Let me peek one more time and see what's going to be happening, because you know the weather's not going to wait for anybody. So you know it's gonna get kind of cool. Make sure you keep a jacket with you. Make sure you bring it with you. You know, tonight around 58 degrees around 7 o'clock. So Brewers are in Chicago playing the Cubs. So make sure you're careful. You'll always need it. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. The analysis is coming up with you at 6 o'clock, and then we're rolling to the Tori Lowe Show and more rebroadcasts throughout the day. I'll be back in about, well, God willing, in about 22 hours. Have a great one. Be safe. Take care. Drive carefully. God bless. I'm out.
Be quiet.
Hey, Truth fam, this is your girl, Melanie Ricks, and I want to remind you to tune into Nothing But the Truth digital show with me, Melanie Ricks, presented by Visit Milwaukee. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m., a new episode drops on the 1017 The Truth YouTube page. And since it is on YouTube, I hold nothing back. I give you all my hot takes on celebrity gossip and give you the tea on relationships that you don't want to miss. Subscribe to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you never miss Nothing But the Truth digital show, dropping every Wednesday at 6 p.m., presented by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class.
Truth Nation, it's time to elevate the conversation at our second annual Truth Summit happening Saturday, November 15th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Thrive on King. This free in-person roundtable dives deep into Milwaukee's most pressing issues, from bridging the healthcare divide to rebuilding our educational pipeline. Join me, Dr. Ken Harris, and expert guests for powerful insights and lively debate you won't hear anywhere else. Reserve your spot at 1017thetruth.com. Sponsored by 1MKE and Thrive on King.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next step.